Hello, all, and welcome to Sportswire. We've come into the post-match reaction for the Chelsea versus Watford game. Absolutely an amazing game for Chelsea in terms of getting the 3 points. Yes, but the game did not go as well as what we anticipated or what we wanted. So we're gonna dive deep into the game and see how the game actually progressed. First of all, I'm so happy that we've reached that 3 point area, and I'm convinced that we will still be able to pick up wins going forward as well. So I'm not really concerned and not taking so much into it. So I'll start off saying that, and but then we have a lot of work to be done as well. So we will definitely look into each of those specifics for sure. But I just wanted to call it out. Don't worry about the performance that we currently you know provided against Watford. Our squad was lean. The team wasn't performing at the highest level that you would want them to, and that's expected because these players have not played a lot of games together. We'll definitely rate the players how they've played and all that in this particular stream. But before doing all that, I'd like you guys to like, comment, share, and subscribe to the channel. I hope the audio and everything is clear. First of all, just wanted to confirm that. Um, we've got Nick. We've got Nick Blue joining the stream as well. Nick Blue is joining the stream straight from the UK. Good evening, or good afternoon, Nick Blue, in your time zone, I believe. Good afternoon. Hope everything is going well for you as well, Nick Blue. I hope you were happy after the uh, game, and at least in terms of the result. Of course, it was not a convincing performance. We've got a lot to talk about. But before all that, we'll quickly for those who did not track the score, it was a 2-1. Watford 1, Chelsea 2. We managed to get the first goal. This is how the game progressed. We had Mount scoring the first goal for Chelsea. Watford did come back from a Dennis goal at the 43rd minute, and then we had a second half goal that was scored by Hakeem Ziyech at the 72nd minute, and we won this game 2-1. Definitely a lot of points to talk about. And as usual, the link is going to be open in the comment section. I'm going to ping the link on the comment section. All that you have to do is just click that link and you will be directed to StreamYard and you can join in. We are going live in both the platforms, of course, YouTube and Twitch as usual. So if you want to hop in and have your say, we've got the availability in both the platforms. Having said that, what I'll do is I'll probably just get into the specifics of this game, right? Let's look into the specifics of this game. Yeah. There you go. That's the specifics. That's the stat as well. This of course happened in Watford Stadium. Yes, they came into this particular game after a loss against Leicester, but that's not the only thing. They picked up a win against Manchester United previously as well, which means that they've come into this game a bit more high on confidence. So the match started, first 7 minutes, it was completely Watford domination, and then you had a health concern there in the stadium. One of the fan was having a heart attack, so the necessary treatment was provided, and he, as per the latest news, he is now feeling better, and that's a good thing definitely, because football, of course, is not as important as that of your own health. So definitely that's a positive news. Then we had this game as well that resumed. Definitely in the first 10 minutes, even after the start, we did not dominate the game. Like the first 20 minutes was completely, I'd say it was completely the domination from Watford. We did manage to start following that diamond sort of a principle. After 20 minutes, we started to hold the ball better, and then we knew that okay, fine, we're slowly getting back into the game. That happened. I'm not saying that did not happen. That happened. Uh, and we even got the goal from Mason Mount post that, and that was a so that was a good gameplay from Chelsea as well. Rudiger with a beautiful ball in. Um, Once the ball traveled in, Alonso did a very good control. Once Alonso had a control, it was pretty much he just wanted to put the ball in for Kai Havertz, who saw the space that Mason Mount has created for himself on the right side. Just put in a soft ball, and Mason Mount had all the time in the world to just put it in the left bottom corner. Very good finish from Mason Mount towards the end. So to be honest, I am not surprised by the finish of Mason Mount, but then it was a wonderful control from Marcus Alonso, which I did not expect. But except for that control, he did not get anything right in the game. Couch Critic as well as here. Thank you, Couch Critic, for joining in. Tough game, fellas. Midfield was non-existent. No control in the midfield. Absolutely. And I think most of the error in this game is probably because the midfield was very non-existent. When I said I agree to the point, like what Couch says. Uh, when we talk about non-existence, both Ruben Loftus-Cheek and Saul Niguez were inexperienced to handle that particular midfield, and we know that how important a double pivot is going to be playing. In this particular game. So it was more inexperience that was shown on the pitch, and both of them tried to move towards the wing, which means that opened up a lot of space in the center. Though they did not exploit, had it been a top team, they would have definitely exploited that. They started supporting Alonso on one flank and Azpilicueta on the other flank. Though there was not that much of support required, but they started drifting off onto the sides, which did not really help our defenders on the center. People and Watford started delivering balls from the wing inside the 6-yard box. You all know how difficult it is when you start delivering balls into the 6-yard box. One or the other is going to get into an issue. So definitely it was very risky for towards the start. We've got Nick Blue joining in the stream. Nick Blue, I think this is the first time you're joining in Sportswire. Welcome to the channel. I hope you have a good time, wonderful time. What do you think about? So first of all, guys, before we get into the game, I just would like just talk about Nick Blue. He was at the game, I guess, Watford versus Chelsea. So talk to me about the experience in the game and go through the specifics of it.
Yes, very frustrating at the beginning. I couldn't believe the way we were playing. It seemed like we only had 10 men in the first half. That's because Saul was non-existent, man. Non-existent. Every time he got the ball, he lost it. It seemed like we were playing with 10 men, exactly. And even in the second half, I mean, after the fan in the crowd was, having a heart attack. He was a Watford fan, but I think he was having a heart attack because Watford were unbelievable. He couldn't believe his eyes.
All right.
Really?
Yeah. The first 8 minutes, I mean, the way that they were playing, I was completely shocked on what was actually happening there. I mean, it was looking like as if they were playing against Manchester United. They're so confident with the ball.
Yeah, they were, because they have Ranieri. Ranieri, was one of our great managers in the past. And Ranieri knows what Chelsea is. That's another thing. He made them really, go up, be up for this game. I feel sorry for him at the end, because they deserved at least a point. I'm glad we won. Well, I'm glad.
We won the game.
I was relieved when we won. I was so relieved. But coming to some players, there's only a couple of players who played good. What's his name? Havertz was good throughout the game. Havertz was good. Mount was good. But till we brought Ziyech came on, and I thought he changed the game. For me, he changed the game. He was everywhere, even defending. And he got that brilliant goal. Absolutely brilliant goal. Great assist from Mount, of course. And I think Ziyech, when we use him as a sub, he's much more, he plays a lot more better coming on as a sub. And the ones who disappointed me was Alonso. First half, Alonso was very bad. giving the ball away a lot, too slow. But second half, you know, he started getting better. He made some crucial tackles at the back, and you know, the way he took the ball down, you know, gave it to Havertz to give it to Mount. That was a great touch. He made that goal. But and I thought, you know, because we had 6 players, you know, it's a big rotation. But we had to do that. I don't blame Tuchel a bit. He had to do it because we got West Ham Saturday, and we need Jorginho Reece-James to be playing against West Ham. And Thiago Silva, another one who come on. He even had, you know, Ziyech, they changed the game for me.
Absolutely, I completely get it. We'll quickly dissect the game as well. This is what I'd say, right? This is a game of 3 sessions. The first session was Watford's domination, the first 20 minutes, and then we had the rest of the 20 minutes being dominated by Chelsea, where we got our first goal as well. But then the last 5 minutes of the first half, it was more of Watford domination, and in the second half, we had Chelsea coming in very strongly as well. Niglu, I thought you kind of breaking there.
Yeah, I'm still here.
Yeah, all right.
Hello?
So, yeah, I can hear you. I can hear loud and clear. Perfect. All right. So, let's talk about the stats of this particular game, right? 50% ball position for Watford and 50% ball position for Chelsea. This is probably the first match in this season where we've dropped our ball position this badly. What do you think was probably the reason? I think the midfield was probably the reason for that. But what are your thoughts on that?
Yes, exactly. Yeah, I think the same. We didn't have a midfield. We were playing with no midfield. Even Loftus was bad in the first. You know, I don't blame him, but in the first half, he was very bad. They couldn't play. We had Saul who couldn't do nothing, and we had Loftus, you know, giving the ball away as well. But second half, once Tuchel changed everything, we went back to back 4, and Ziyech come on, like I said, made a big difference. That's why we won the game in the end because of that.
Yeah, he was very comfortable playing that right attacking midfield position. I probably say that's the right attacking midfield because that's probably where he was seen most of the time. But do you see probably be changing a formation in the West Ham game given the last 20-30 minutes that we operated in the second half? Because we had to adapt to that situation because we didn't have any midfielders to do the job for us. We don't have Jorginho right now, Kovacic as well, and also N'Golo Kante as well is injured. So we've just got Ruben Loftus-Cheek and Saul Niguez, both of them being inexperienced. So we had to try Chalobah as well on the DM position before he got injured. I think that should be a hamstring injury. I'm not sure on the specifics of it.
Yeah, that's a bad injury. Bad injury.
Yeah, the way that he reacted to that injury, I knew straight away that's going to be a hamstring. So probably we'll not have the availability of Chalobah as well, which means that we don't have any, the center defensive midfielders in the position where Jorginho plays. We don't have any double pivot right now.
That's right.
Except for these both combinations. So if we'll have to adapt. Yeah, go on.
It shows, that's why look at all these Jorginho haters still. I can't believe that we have fans who still don't like Jorginho. But he was missing yesterday. You can see it clear as day. Without Jorginho and Kante, usually, we're nowhere. We haven't got a midfield. But at least I think Jorginho will be ready for Saturday. Now, he'll be playing with Loftus-Cheek probably. I don't know about Kante, even Kante might be back, hopefully.
Yeah, I'm expecting Kante and Jorginho to be probably back.
If
Couch critic as well agrees. Couch critic as well agrees to it. If there were ever a perfect example of how important Jorginho is to the team, this was it. And I've told this plenty of times. You will not understand the importance of Jorginho, in the games that he doesn't play. That is when you get to know the importance of it. Like that registrar role that he's been playing for Chelsea is almost dictating the defense every single time, and we've missed that, very badly yesterday.
It's good to have a game like that without him, so people can see what we
and
miss.
Understand, right? Yeah.
And I hate these haters. Even with Ziyech, so many haters. I can't believe it. He hasn't been crap every time he's played. He's been average most of the games, but recently he's been scoring. He's got 3 goals now, and he's assist. He's assisted. You know, I'm sure he will get better as well as we go along. He's proven he can run around. He was running like an idiot yesterday. I liked him when he came on.
I mean, he's the one difference that I've observed from Ziyech, when he started off after the preseason. Preseason, of course, he was on top of his game, but after that, he just dropped his shoulders a bit.
Yeah.
Of course, he had a shoulder injury as well, but then he was not really trying. That's the concern that I had with Ziyech. But what has happened is in the last few games, he started to show signs of improvements. He really wants to be in the team. He wants to, be a part of the team and start pressing. And he is trying to press as much as possible from his end because he's naturally not a presser. And he's naturally not someone who's going to go ahead and win the balls from the opposition, because that's not a part of his game. That never was. So he's trying something new. He's trying something new in addition to whatever he regularly does, and that is something that he might not initially adapt, but we'll have to probably give some time for that. We've got Rebecca as well here. Big up guys, says Rebecca. Big up to you as well, Rebecca. She's been consistent with the channel for all the streams, right? In the past few days. Couch Critic as well is here. He says big up Bex. So we've got a good Chelsea community on the comment section.
Yeah, I'm trying to get people on for you, but I'll say people come and join the stream and give us, we're Chelsea here. Come and join the stream.
Yeah, Couch Critic, if you want to jump onto the stream, every single time when I put in a live stream, it's always an open stream. I never like to talk alone, but since we don't have a lot of people on the stream, sometimes I end up doing that. But anyways, it's always an open stream.
You let Crouch come on and talk a bit if you want.
Yeah, absolutely. Would love to have a conversation with Crouch. No, you can stay. No, that shouldn't be a problem. Yeah, right. So we can have multiple people on the stream at least. I guess we can have close to 10 people on the stream, so it shouldn't be a problem.
Oh, I see. All right. I was just to say, Bex, you're here. Big up to you. But I know you said Mount was you think Mount was man of the match, even though the TV pundits said man of the match to Mount. It was but I just wanted to give it to Ziyech because
of the moment,
the way he come on, and mainly because our fans have been really rubbing his name in mud for nothing. Too much complaints on him. That's why I had to give it to Ziyech.
But is there a bit of Nick? You're probably in the UK, so you can probably provide me a better analysis of the situation. Is there a bit of bias because of the Cobham graduates and then the rest of the players who come from different leagues? The kind of support that they get from the families. Is there a bit of bias there? Because when Mount does I'm not saying that Mount does the same as that of Ziyech, because Ziyech has been doing it for quite some time now. Not been performing well. But when Mount does that, maybe most of the time it doesn't get noticed, and he's not being into.
He doesn't get noticed. You know why he doesn't get noticed? He's one of our young players. He's doing great for his age. Another thing is, but I don't see many. When I go to Chelsea, I don't see many agendas against Alonso, against Ziyech. Everyone's singing their name. It's only when I come on YouTube and I hear all this rubbish. I can't believe the stuff they say. That's why I get annoyed sometimes, and I start swearing at some people because they talk a lot of shit. I don't want to name them, but I think you know what I mean.
Yeah, I do. Quickly moving on to the midfield area. When we talk about this midfield, yesterday one person who really frustrated me on that double pivot was Sol Niguez. What do we do with Sol Niguez?
We send him back. Send him back first post right now. 10 first class stamps on the post. Send him back.
So I did read one of the tweets from Con, I believe, who mentioned that if at all you want to send him back to Atletico Madrid during the January transfer window, we still have to pay the full wages until summer. So that's probably going to be a loss for us anyways. It's better to have an option on the bench. At least we can use him on the cup games. Rebecca says that Mount was awarded the man of the match just for his goal plus assist. I think Kai Havertz was better, but Ziyech did have a good impact, and he's finding really good form. Ziyech has been really decisive in the last few games, and maybe the way that he was playing the last few games is completely different from what he was playing yesterday, because he was trying to play in a different position. He was trying to play a bit back on the right attacking midfield sort of a position. He was trying to defend as well, going back to the defense, trying to do that as well. Then combining with the attackers, he obviously was not the first man on the pitch. We had Lukaku running in forward for him, Pulisic as well. So he was able to track and find players most of the time. When he plays as a winger, what essentially happens is that most of the time he has to pass the ball behind, because these guys run behind him. So that did not happen yesterday because he was playing a bit behind Lukaku, Kai Havertz, and Pulisic, and he had a lot of attacking options that he can combine with. Probably that helped Ziyech a lot as well. What are your thoughts on that, Nick Blue? Maybe his game was yesterday a bit different.
Yeah, I agree with Rebecca. Yeah, you're spot on there. But like I said, I want to give it to Ziyech, the man of the match, because people have been slandering him too much lately, that's all. But yeah, I agree with you. But yeah, Havertz, man, we only had them 2-3 players really good. But it's. I'm sure Tuchel will sort it out by Saturday. I'm just hoping it won't be an easy game on Saturday. I was saying 3-0 to us last night, but we were all shocked the way we started the game. God.
Yeah, everyone. I called for a 1-0 actually, because I knew that. Yeah, Chelsea would score the first goal. I was very confident on that, but I did not expect us to concede. If I'm to be honest, I guess that's our sixth or seventh. I guess it's the sixth goal that we've conceded in this particular league, and we've just got Manchester City just above us. 7 goals they've conceded in this season. The last goal was against West Ham United for them. So until now, we still hold the record of the team that is. Conceded the less number of goals or the least number of goals.
Oh, yes.
But I'm not sure how long we can hold that to, given the current form that we've got.
I think we can hold it as long as we keep Rudiger, give him that contract for fuck's sake. I don't know what's going on. Give him what he wants. He wasn't brilliant last night, but
you know what?
He still defended.
Nick Blue was here. This is a good. It's going to be a good conversation. Actually, we've got Nick Blue here. We all know how how important Nick Blue. How better he supports Rudiger. He's one of the favorite players for Nick Blue. So we've got Nick Blue here. This is the question that I'm going to ask Nick Blue. I'm not sure, Nick Blue, if you've noticed this. When Azpilicueta went off, was substituted.
Yes.
He actually gave the captain's armband to Rudiger. We still have Alonso on the pitch and Thiago Silva also on the pitch, but he gave the captain's armband to Rudiger.
Yeah.
That's my title as well. Will Rudiger get a contract? Did he hint that? Maybe. The reason why he gave the armband, we wouldn't want a player to get the armband without him. I mean, if he's going the next season, right? So could that be a symbol? Could that be a symbol?
I hope so. Yeah, I saw that. I hope he's right. Because we had Alonso being captain before. He's been there longer than Rudiger, but I hope it's a hint. But I know Rudiger wants to stay at Chelsea. That's 100%. If he's if he's asking for 200,000 or just over, they should give it to him. But because he's got to be a big man. Christensen, you see, he played last night. Everyone, Tuchel was keeping him out because he wouldn't sign, but he put him in. Even him, he wants to stay. They've got, the club has to sort it out. Unless it's silly. If it's silly money they're asking for, right? I don't blame the club, but you have to give them at least what they're worth.
Yeah, completely agreed. I mean, the one thing that we have with Chelsea Football Club is that the kind of wage structure that we manage and maintain is not as equivalent to the other top clubs across the league. When we talk about other top clubs, not just this league, I'm talking about the European League as well. We've got teams like Bayern Munich, Barcelona, Real Madrid, PSG, just not even having a wage structure for them. Juventus, all of these people, right? So when you compete against these teams for top players, of course, your wage structure is probably going to be a big concern. And it will be interesting on how Chelsea is managing to get these people's contracts signed, but it is very much required at this point in time. Both Christensen and Rudiger's contract situation is something that we'll have to take on priority. Aspilicueta as well seems to have rejected his first contract that was proposed. Hopefully, he as well signs
Yeah,
another couple of years.
yeah. I think they should give him a year for sure. But for sure, he's been a loyal servant to us. He's been really loyal. Great captain we have. But I don't know what's going on there. Maybe it's like William. William wanted 3 years. They were willing to give him 2 years.
Yeah.
And but he wanted 3. It might be the same like Aspie. But he did. I hope they give him the 2 years he wants. Yeah.
All right. So what we'll do now quickly is that we'll start with the player ratings for this particular game. I'll share my screen right now, and you guys can provide us the player ratings. If you want to join the stream as well, that's well and good. But the link is always on the chat window. Anytime you want to hop in, it's open. Um, I was just filling up these details here. We had Christensen here starting, and we of course had Rudiger. All right, so Rudiger here, Christensen here. This is the back three. I guess it was Chalobah initially. Let's start with Mendy. What are your thoughts about Mendy, and what would be your rating, Nick Blue?
Yeah, Mendy was good. He made one really crucial save. Really was a hard save. One good one. He made a couple of decent ones. He nearly made a silly. He tried to dribble with the ball a little bit, but he got it out in the end. Yeah, I'll give Mendy has to be an 8.
Yeah, has to be an 8. Nick Blue says an 8. For me as well, Mendy performed really good. I mean, one of those saves he anticipated that cleverly could be, breaking a defense and, having a clear chance. He ensured that he came out, and that was like a Neuer-like move, Neuer of, Germany, Bayern Munich. That was one such move. He was very confident in doing that, ensured that the ball was safe, and in the process got himself injured as well a bit. So he did give everything possible from his end. And of course, in terms of the goal that was conceded, he did not have any chance for that particular goal. Let's be honest about it, because the ball anyways took a deflection from Rudiger's feet once Dennis was trying to shoot it. So the ball's pace kind of decreased, though the angle was not, there was not too much of deviation in the angle, but then due to the deviation that it took from Antonio Rudiger, he didn't really have a chance for saving that. So on a whole, Mendy probably will get an 8 for this particular game. He did try his maximum to ensure that the game was not impacted hugely, because we had so much of goal scoring threat on that left side, led by Cameron Dennis. They knew which area that they had to exploit, and they of course chose the Alonso side. But we'll get to that when we go, to that situation. But starting from there, we've got Chalobah. Chalobah did play not the entire game, but bits and pieces of it.
Yeah, Chalobah. Well, no one started really good, but he got into the game, and I liked it when he went into the midfield, and the game changed in the second half. Till he got that injury, I'll give Chalobah 7.
A 7 for Chalobah. All right. He did try to play better in that DM position, but he didn't have a lot of time to do that because he was injured there. So Chalobah a 7 from Nick Blue. Hopefully Bex as well agreed to that. Let me know about your ratings as well, Bex, on the chat. Christensen and Couch Critic, if you're still on the chat, let me know on what your player ratings would be as well. Christensen, for me, Christensen really had a very good day at the office. He was playing as the center back initially, and then he moved to the right once Thiago Silva came in. But then he did his job. To be honest, he did his job. But what are your thoughts on it, Nicola?
Yeah, he was all right. coming in after he hasn't played for a few games. He done very well, actually. I'll give him a 7 as well.
All right. Chalobah, for Chalobah, Beck says it's a 7.5. Doesn't matter, 7.5, still very close. Christensen, you said a 7.5, right? What was that?
Me,
7.
I said 7.
Okay. I would have probably given a 7.5 for Christensen. This is what I'd say. Because for me, honestly, he did not make any error. But again, it's just a 0.5 difference here and there. So, it's fine. So a 7 or a 7.5 for both Chalobah and Christensen. That's what, we've got here. We'll then try to, get a whole number from there. Rudiger now. Your thoughts on Rudiger? Of course, he was part of that Cameron Dennis. I mean, not why am I saying Cameron Dennis? Dennis who scored that goal,
Yes.
but he didn't have a lot of he didn't have a lot of say in that particular goal because he cannot lunge in that particular situation. That's what I felt because
he was
he was the last defender anyways.
Yeah, sorry.
He was not able to commit anyways. So I think we probably have to excuse him for that. But what are your thoughts on Rudiger's performance?
Yeah, it wasn't great, as the great we usually see, but it wasn't bad. The goal, it was Dennis, the way he dribbled, he confused him, and he opened his legs, but the ball hit his leg and went in. I was waiting for Rudiger to beat him, get the ball, do something, but he did. It was risky. He was in two minds. Could have easily given a penalty away if he went for him. So, yeah, Rudiger 7 as well. 7.
Rudiger 7. All right. I'd probably go with the same actually. Rudiger 7, but put his heart and soul into the game. That's how most of the time he does. Christensen gets a 7.5 from Bex. Probably, and she makes a valid point as well here. She says the midfield in the first half put a lot of pressure on the defense. I mean, the mistakes that you could probably see here is maybe because of the midfield's pressure as well. So a lot of mistakes will have to be attributed to the midfield, not to the defense. So not the defense. The defense cannot every time hold up if the midfield is not performing properly, and that is exactly what we saw. A shambolic experience in the midfield position.
We didn't have a midfield in the first half. We didn't have. It was non-existent. That's why Watford was, just running through. Yeah. They were coming like anything. No,
exactly.
That's why, and mainly because of Saul and Ruben. Ruben wasn't good either. Yeah.
Completely agreed. So we move on to the wing backs now, Alonso and Azpilicueta. Of course, we've got a lot to talk about Alonso, so I'm going to start with Azpilicueta and then we'll move on to Alonso. Azpilicueta, what does he get? I mean, he was he was not playing against the game against Burnley. We drew that game. Man United, we drew that game, and he's come in today. He's been the captain. We took the initial lead, and we managed to get 3 points as well. So it also shows the importance of having Azpilicueta in that defense. What do you think about Azpi's performance, Nick?
Yeah, I love Azpi. Usually he always gets at least an 8 in every game he played before. But yesterday he didn't do that too much, really. But I know he just come back in, but performance, I'll give him a 6.5.
6.5. All right. I think he was doing a good job. I mean, 6.5 is a bit undersell for me. I'd probably go with the 7 because he was combining good with Mason Mount as much as possible. So it's a 7 for me. 6.5 from your end. Bex, your score for Azpilicueta as well. We'd love to know your score. Meanwhile, we move on to Alonso. Talk to me about Alonso. Oh my God, there's so much to talk about this guy. Every attack from Watford was on the left flank, and he did not manage to. I mean, he did not make any effort to get Dennis. To control Dennis. Basically, he was too good for him. I understand that Dennis, first of all, is a very good player. He's got 6 goals, 5 assists already. I guess he's one shot of Mohamed Salah in the league, so he's good in the attacking presence and all that. I agree to that. But if you're part of a Champions of Europe team, you're expected to defend better than that. Come on. But what are your thoughts? here.
Yeah, I agree with you. Yeah, it's a shame. You know, it's a shame that Chill was injured because we were missing him so much. Alonso, you know, he can't defend. He can't defend. Probably can't run back quick. He ain't got the energy to come back. He ain't got the speed. The only good thing he does is in the attacking half, he can make things happen like he did yesterday. He took that ball brilliantly. But second half, first half he was non-existent like Saul, but the second half he came into it a bit more. He did put some challenges in, but you know what can we do? We have him. Sometimes he can be great, like we've seen in the before Chilwell was coming. Before the first few games he had, he was good, but no one yesterday played really good for us. No one. But you can't just blame Alonso. It's easy to blame Alonso, but it's not just him. Yesterday was most of the players.
Agreed. Yeah. So, what would be your points for him?
I'll give Alonso 6.
Okay, 6. Rebecca says that credit to Alonso for being involved in both the goals, as well as for alerting the medics about the fan, but poor performance all around. Yes, his off-field performance and alerting the medics was a very good thing. Of course, health comes first than football. Still a game again. So health definitely comes first. So good, a shout out to Alonso for doing that. But in terms of his football, yesterday it was not as much as what you would want to see from him. Of course, he was involved in both the goals. But one thing I really liked the way that he controlled for the first goal. That was an amazing control. So we kind of saw glimpses of what Alonso can possibly do, but he has to be very consistent on the defensive front as well. If Dennis can move past through him this easily, we're definitely not taking him into any Champions League games. Of course, every Champions League game will have a good right winger or a left winger. So how is he going to manage that? He definitely cannot. So for me, it's a 5 for Alonso. Bex as well says it's a 5, but you're saying a 6, so we'll have a 6 and a 5.
I said 6 because of the touch. That touch.
Yeah, the touch. Yeah.
For me, it deserves a 6. It was a good all round. He was very bad, but for me second half. That's why I said 6. Second half, he was a lot better.
Makes sense. Now we come to the double pivot, RLC and Saul Niguez. So let's talk about RLC first. I mean, it's not that okay, I'll put it this way, right? The midfield was completely inexperienced, and partially RLC was under pressure because he was playing with Saul Niguez, but you cannot, tell that as a reason. But RLC as well seemed to be very much out of his depth yesterday. He also, his particular defensive error was what led to the goal in the first place. Bradford were able to counter from that particular mistake from RLC. All in all, I wouldn't really rate RLC's performance that high today. In yesterday's game. But what are your thoughts on RLC's performance, Nick?
Yeah, same really. Yeah, he was very bad in the first half. Very bad. You can see Saul is not quick enough for this Premier League. You can see, so for me, he should have done better. I know he should have done better because the last few games he played, he was very good. But yesterday, he was bad. I have to give him a 5.
So would you say that performance is probably because he had Saul Niguez playing next to him? Of course, he's another inexperienced. When I say inexperienced, not in Chelsea. Chelsea colours, at least he's very inexperienced.
That's one of the reasons is that, yes, but he still should have done better for me. I'll give him 5.
A 5 for RLC. And Bex brings in a very good point. He definitely gets targeted on the left-hand side. We're talking about Alonso here. Likely, we don't see Rudiger running forward so much anymore. Even I saw a couple of times when Rudiger tried to run in forward yesterday. They were easily able to counter and exploit that left wing option. He knew what was happening, and so he started staying back.
Yeah,
he knew he's not going to have that freedom anymore.
Yeah, it's a good point Rebecca made. Rudiger, he knows his experience. He knows what Alonso. He knows what Alonso can do and not do. Yeah.
Completely agreed. RLC gets a 5 from Nick. For me as well, RLC gets a 5. Rebecca, what's your thoughts on what's your score for that? For me, I'll just put in 5 here. Saul Niguez. Oh my God. I don't know what to say. Probably his last hope staying in Chelsea is if he transitions himself to a left wing back and supports Alonso there. Otherwise, I don't see him playing in any competitions as of now. Tuchel himself told after the game, we won this game by a luck, but I don't know where Saul Niguez is probably going to go from here. So he even is not sure about his future in the club. Definitely, that's a point of concern for Saul Niguez. Of course, Atletico Madrid as well are not in favor of getting him back as well, because they knew that he had poor form in the previous season. That's why they were readily okay with selling him on a loan. I don't know what's going to happen with Saul Niguez here. He's now not fit for Atletico Madrid and Chelsea. Where is he going to go from here? And if at all you want to see Saul Niguez, would it be your preference to see him in the double pivot or maybe left wing back?
I can't see him having another game for us by January. I think if we can get send him back in January, I think that's what Chelsea will do. He was not, I don't hate the player. He used to be a great player before, in Spain, but he hasn't got he can't get used to the Premier League for some reason. He can't. He's too slow. He's not in the game. He can't get used to the pace of the game. I don't think he will get another chance myself. Okay. But I don't know if we can send him back in January. That's a problem.
Yeah, we might have to bear the financial aspect of it if we are doing that. I really see a point in why we have to do it, because if at all we're getting another player and the squad strength is too high, then we want to offload certain players, then Saul Niguez will be an option. Otherwise, I don't really see why we have to do that. We still can have him around for at least cup competitions here and there when the midfield becomes lean. Beck says that, this is a good point. Like against United as well, Ruben Loftus-Cheek was kind of poor. And he was playing against, next to Jorginho. Except for that particular miss from Jorginho, he had a decent game. He was able to bounce back from the penalty. So I wouldn't really say Jorginho had a very poor game that time. I mean, just a momentary lapse actually from Jorginho in the way that he controlled the game. But Jorginho had a very decent game actually in that day. But RLC as well did not have a great day against United. So I wouldn't really. Yeah, it does make sense what Bex tries to convince or tell us here. It's not because Saul Niguez was playing next to him, he looked very poor. It's probably because he really has certain things that he has to improve, and that's why he's looking for. Again, he was playing with Jorginho, and you cannot say that he was, playing very good against United. So probably the combination is not the factor. Maybe his gameplay is something that has to be looked into. Makes sense, Bex.
Yes, makes sense. He was just poor last night. He was poor. But going back to Saul, it's hard for me to even give him 1 point. But I think I'll give him 1 point.
1 point is for showing up to the game. Come on.
1 for showing up. That's all. That's all. Yeah.
Yeah. So. One. I just have one as an option here. We'll revisit it though. 4 from Rebecca, and I'm also going to go with 4. The reason why I did that is probably because he's still there is still a good player there. The only thing is that he doesn't understand the system. He's not speaking the language as well yet. He doesn't understand how Tuchel is trying to play, and this particular transition from the Spanish league to the English league hasn't been a smooth ride for him. Hopefully he knows what he's doing in the club. Otherwise, it's going to be very hard for him to survive in Chelsea colours.
I can't see him. I can't see him stand at Chelsea unless some miracle happens. Yeah. I can't see him because he's too slow. He can't get into the game.
Physically as well, he's not that fit of
He's not. He's
an
not fitting
individual.
either. No.
Yeah, yeah. So there are constraints there. Pulisic. We move on to the attack now. Pulisic, Havertz, and Mount. What? How do you want to rate Pulisic's performance here? I mean, uh, yeah, you go first. I mean, I'm kind of
Yeah.
being a bit confused with Pulisic's performance, if I'm to be honest.
Pulisic. Yeah.
Yeah, go on.
Pulisic wasn't brilliant. He was average for me last night, just average. I'll give him it's hard for me to give him. It's got to be 6 or 7. 6.
A 6 or a 7, all right.
6. I'll go with 6.
You're going with 6, all right. I go with okay, this is what I'm going to do, right? I'll go with a 7. The reason why I'm doing that is because he managed to. I mean, he's someone who often gets fouled for us in dangerous position, and we try to attack from there. He was able to do that yesterday as well, and he certain times he was offside. The runs he was trying to make, and most of the time I felt that people were really not tracking his runs, and he had to. I mean, he still did not play the entire 90 minutes in his favored position. He had to support on the right wing back position once there was injury concerns happening in the game.
Yeah.
So he probably adapted better on the right flank. Even when Pulisic was playing on the right wing back, Watford chose to attack from left side. That shows the kind of confidence that Watford has in terms of Dennis on the left flank, and
They
also
have because of Alonso. They
Alonso,
only,
right?
that's the main reason. Yeah.
Exactly. So, I mean,
Yeah.
what does that really tell you? I mean, Pulisic is probably a better wing back than Alonso is what Watford were working with. That's probably the assumption that they're working with. Another factor is, of course, they have Dennis on the right flank for them. So both of them combined together, it was really really so difficult for Chelsea to stop them. Okay, moving forward, for me, Pulisic is a 7, and moving forward to Kai Havertz. Bex, before that, we'll just read out Beck's chat there. Bex says that Pulisic wasn't sharp, lost possession a lot. I think he looked better when he moved to wing back. I can't fault the forwards too much because the midfield wasn't really helping them. Absolutely. I mean, it was almost like the defense was playing separately and the offense was playing separately. The midfield was not combining well with both of them, and eventually we had to go through the wings because we were not able to use both the players on the center, and that is why we were playing so much on the wings, either of the wings, and we had to overload there. I agree, but Pulisic, Bex, you've not mentioned any score actually for Pulisic. Going forward for Havertz's performance. The Twitter is of course divided in terms of Havertz's performance. I mean, a lot of people say that Havertz has been putting his hard work there, pressing hard, and he was doing a good job in yesterday's game. A few people are not still convinced because he's not shown any goal, or I mean, he's not had any goal contributions to justify that. Of course, he had an assist for Mount, but that was it. So the Twitter is kind of divided here. But what are your thoughts on Havertz's performance, Nick?
Yeah. No, I think Havertz was good. He was above our best attacker, really. With he was good. He was everywhere. He was running. He was pressing. He could do. He done what he had to do. He was good. Especially, he wasn't selfish to shoot when he had. It was easier for him to shoot, really. But he passed to Mount. It shows. A good job was Cho was. Hudson Odoi was on the bench watching because he should see what he should have done against United. He had that, in the 3rd minute, he could have passed it to one and be a tapping. But Havertz, he's got more, his brain works better. That's what I say. Yeah, I was really impressed with Havertz. Yeah.
Agreed. Rebecca as well says it's an 8 for her. Great work rate throughout the match. Good to see him use his physicality and be more direct. Created 3 goal scoring chances as well. Absolutely. I mean, the way that he's playing, for me, honestly, my opinion, it's not going to be biased in terms of Twitter. My personal opinion with respect to Havertz is that he had a good game.
Yes.
He had a good game, but his game was not as good as Mount when you put it in comparison.
Yeah, just under, not much.
Yes.
I think I'll give it. Yeah, Havertz has to get an 8. Yeah, he was good. I agree.
All right. I agree. 8 as well for me as well. So here, Pulisic is still a confusion. 6 or 7. Mount's performance yesterday. Mount was doing a good job. Really good job. What's your thought on Mount?
Yes, he was. Like I said, I would have given him the man of the match. He probably was our best player. But like I said, I'll just give it to Ziyech because of the slander he gets. But yeah, Mount was good everywhere. He's pressing, coming back, going forward. He assisted. He scored the goal. Yeah, great game. Great game. I'm really glad for Mason. Very glad. I'll give it Mason. I'll give 8.5.
8.5. All right. I'd give him an 8.5 actually. Even I'd do the same. I mean, it's not we convincingly won this game, but had it been that was the case, then I would have gone for a 9 or 9.5 even. But
yeah, if it was a different game, it would
Yeah.
have got 9. But because the way the whole team played, it has to be 8.5 for me. Yeah.
Absolutely. So we'll also quickly visit the substitutions that we had in the game. Ziyech, Lukaku, and Azpilicueta. Sorry, not Azpilicueta. I guess that was who was the other substitute we had?
Oh yeah, Silva, Thiago.
Yeah, Thiago Silva. All right. So I've just added their names as well. We'll quickly go and rate their performance as well. Silva for you. Let's start with the defense.
Thiago, brilliant, always brilliant as ever. He came on, he calmed the team down, even just because he came onto the pitch. We seemed to play a lot calmer.
Yeah.
Yeah, good. 8 for me. He has to get an 8. Easy.
All right. For the minutes that he played, he definitely for the minute and the way that he played, for me, it's definitely an 8. I mean, I'd go for 7.5 actually, because he did not play that much of minutes, and the kind of work that he had to put in was not as high as the other players on the pitch. That's why I'm probably going with a 7.5. But 8 as well isn't something that I would drastically differ to. So it's still all good there. Lukaku did not play most of the minutes. Came in, did not have really that much of an impact. What's your thought on Lukaku?
Yeah, Lukaku actually for me he done well. Not as attacking as much, but defending. He really got some headers, very important headers out the box. He was a presence. But 20 minutes. It's only 20 minutes. I have to give him 7.
A 7 for Lukaku. I'll agree. It's a 7. It's not that he did a lot of mistake as well. I mean, it's just that he was not as effective as you would want him to be. So a 7. But again, that effectiveness you cannot definitely expect from him in the last 10 minutes. Of course, he's just coming back from the injury, so that's going to anyways take some time. Bex says Silva gets a 9.5. Bex, he still played probably close to 25-30 minutes. Not sure exactly, but yeah. So would you still rate him with 9.5? I understand, the emotional connect that we have to Silva. But in terms of this particular game, I don't know if he's done that much to rate him 9.5. And Mason Mount, she says an 8. So let's have an 8 as well here. We'll come back and revisit it. While we move on to the next. Okay, there's another comment from Rebecca. I just wanted to bring that up as well. I still don't think this system suits him though. He looks better in a slightly deeper role. She's talking about Havertz here, and she says that this system. So that's just probably the reason why he's playing a bit of false 9 sort of role, because he cannot play like a standout striker where he's always in the 6-yard box or in the 30-yard box. Of course, he has to drop deep and play more like Kane right now. That's how he's playing right now, but maybe more better. I think his impact was underrated. Silva's impact she's talking about. So
Yes.
really a calming presence actually.
That's what I'll give him yeah, because he didn't play a lot of minutes, that's all. But he definitely changed the team. You know, without him coming on, we would have lost.
All right. So we've got 9.5 for Silva as well in contention. So we'll zero down on that number, when we revisit. Okay, so Silva, right? Okay, so 9.5. The last player that we want to discuss about is Hakim Ziyech. Ziyech's performance in terms of, if you want to quantify to a number, what would that be?
Yeah, for me, Hakim was very good, very good. He came on, he was running, really running, coming back, going forward. I was impressed a lot with him. And I think that another main reason we won this game because of him. Not only the goal, but the overall performance. I was very pleased when he came on. He was very refreshing. Very, how can I say? Yeah,
Absolutely.
for me,
he came in at the 56th minute, 64th minute, he got a red
yes.
card, and the next 8th minute, so this is how it went
good.
on, right? 56th minute he came in, 8 minutes post that, 64 minutes he got an yellow card, 8 minutes post that, 72nd minute he got his goal. So really, really good performance from Hakim Ziyech. Yeah, you were saying something, Nick?
Yeah, I was saying I have to give him an 8.
8. Okay. Bex agrees to the 7 for Lukaku that we've scored, and an 8 for Hakim Ziyech. All right, not bad. Hakim Ziyech gets an 8 there. So now it's time for us to zero down wherever there seems to be a confusion. This time we'll go from the attack. Pulisic, 6 or 7? We'll get on to a number, 6 or 7.
Who's that? Me? Sorry again. Pulisic.
Yeah.
Pulisic.
Can we just round it out and put the 6.5?
Yeah, I think give him a 7. He wasn't at least he tried, 7.
All right, he still tried. So let's go with 7 then. Mount, 8.5 or 8?
8.5. He deserves it.
Yeah. If you're giving 8 for Ziyech, it makes more sense.
You have to, yeah.
8.5 for Mount. And we've still got Ziyech and Havertz at 8. I'm not really sure about that. I'd still have gone for a 7.5 for Havertz, but anyways, it's what it is. Alonso, 6 or 5?
Alonso.
Yeah, people are really unhappy about Alonso, so 6.
Yeah, I gave him a 6 mainly because the second half, plus the way he made that goal.
Yeah, I mean, he still had contributions in terms of Chelsea getting the goal. So let's go with 6. I mean, it's not that everything he did
it's not that big.
Rubbish. Yeah, so it's a 6 then. And this is a huge variation. Saul 1 and 4. So where do we land here? I mean, realistically, where do we land here?
Who's that?
Saul Niguez.
So for me, non-existent. All right, we have to give it. I said maybe one was too down. I mean, 3 the most. I can't give you more than a 3. More than a 3, though.
All right, so we'll go for 3. Ziyech, there's a bit of thought here from Rebecca. She says Ziyech 7, great to get the clutch goal for us, but was making a few sloppy passes when he came on. Made a good impact though. So Bex, tell me one thing, right? You're saying that Ziyech gets a 7 in spite of getting his goal, but Havertz gets an 8. We've given an 8 for Havertz, and Lukaku we've given a 7. So
not only a goal, Sportzwire, not only a goal, a great goal. That was a
great goal actually.
Great goal. That's why I gave him because, like I said, when he come on, he did change a lot. He changed a lot.
Yeah, and he positioned himself correctly for that particular goal. I mean, as much as Mount delivered that pass straight to Ziyech's feet, he was positioned properly for that, shot. Making sure that Lukaku was the first man, and then he was dropping a bit deeper so that if Lukaku was not able to find out the ball,
and he nearly got a second goal. Just if he put that head out or
that was
post, it would have been a goal. So it's
Correct.
shame.
Had he put that header a bit more wider and not directed straight to the goalkeeper, that
Yes.
would have been another goal as well. So in that
Really.
position as well, that particular cross was delivered from Kai Havertz, and he was there in the 6-yard box. Though he was playing
Yeah,
more as a right attacking midfielder, he was there in the 6-yard box.
he
Though
was
he was
there.
playing in the
He was there.
ground
Yeah,
position.
that's
Yeah,
why.
so he
That's
got
why.
into the right positions.
Yeah, he was. No, he was good. You can't. No one can say he was below. You know, than an 8. No, that's to be an
Yeah,
8.
makes sense. Bex, that's probably the reason why we're going to go with an 8. I really don't want Havertz, Lukaku, who's not scored that much of goal, to be, I mean, not even scored any goal in this game, to be
Yes.
having more points than Ziyech in this
If we
match.
give Lukaku 7, he has to be an 8.
Yeah, exactly. We've got
Yeah.
Lukaku at 7, the limited amount of work that he's done. So we'll go for an 8 for Ziyech this time. Aspilicueta 6.5 or 7. Not much of confusion here. So, yeah, I mean, I still go with the 7. So what are your thoughts, Nick? Can we go for a 7 there?
Yeah, it's not much different. I give him a 7 because the great captain he is, only for being our great captain. Yeah, give him a 7.
Yeah, a good leader on the pitch, of course.
Yeah, yeah.
Chalobah 7 or 7.5. Of course, he did pull his hamstring. Not sure when he's going to be back, but we definitely need his presence as well because we don't have anyone to
Yes.
support Aspilicueta on the right wing back position or right
For me,
centre back.
7. I'll sit with a 7 because he, he didn't play as well as we've seen him lately. That's why I give him a 7. But that's not saying. Yeah.
But wouldn't you agree the way that Chalobah was playing yesterday? Chalobah was playing as the last man in most of the balls that in terms of the counter, right? The work that was done by Jorginho in the previous game, which led to a mistake basically. He was the one who was playing the last man in most of the counter attacks and the corners that Watford had. Of course, they had limited corners. I guess they had 4 corners compared to 0 corners for Chelsea. We did not have a corner yesterday in the game, so that was a drastic difference from what we played against Manchester United, where we had like loads of corners. I think at least it was more than 15 corners. We were not able to convert anything from that set piece, which is in the corner. But we didn't have any corner in the last game.
Yes.
Maybe Tuchel thought, okay, fine. People are complaining because we've got 15 corners and we're not scoring any of it. Let's not get a corner only. What will they do now? So, yeah. Anyways, so Chalobah, that's probably the reason why I'd go with the 7.5 because he's kind of adaptable and he did take up a bit of ownership. So
yeah, he did when when we had to put him in the midfield. He said before he got injured. I think he got injured. But 7's good for his performance. I think. I don't mind 7.5. I can't say no, really. Yeah.
Okay. Bex is still not convinced. She says that Havertz played 90 minutes and half of it was behind a poor midfield. He also created 3 goal-scoring chances, 1 for Mason, 1 for Pulisic, and 1 for Ziyech. Definitely higher rating than Ziyech. All right, so you've justified Havertz's game here, but Ziyech still played a better game for the 20 minutes, 25 minutes that he's come on. He still impacts up.
I think they should get the same score, really. Havertz was good, yeah. Give them both an 8.
Yeah, both of them an 8. Probably a good, a good compromise as well, Rebecca. Both of them gets an 8. Hopefully, you're happy with that. Moving forward, the centre back positions. That's where we have a bit of confusion. Silva, of course, 8, 7.5, 9.5. It's completely all over the place right now.
Yeah, I know. He is a great player. Usually always gets a 9 every single game. But because he didn't have the whole game, that's why I give him an 8. An 8's very good for him.
Maybe let's go with an 8.5. What do you think?
8.5.
Yeah, because he did not make any mistake that we think back to and say he could have done better.
Yeah, but we gave Mount 8.5 because he was man of the match. So we can give him 8.5. I don't know. 8.5 is not much difference.
8 probably, yeah, because of course, when you have your man of the match being highly rated, then Silva probably is not rightfully the man of the match in this particular game at least. So let's go with an 8 there. Christensen 7 or 7.5. Not much of a difference, but
no. For me, 7's good for his performance, I think. But 5 points won't make any 7.5.
You know what? I do have a bit of a difference of a bit of an argument here. The reason why I say that is like I'd probably go for a 7.5. Only reason is that he did play in the center back position, like the center back, and also just shifted to right center back position, and both of the position he was equally good. So he's able to quickly transition the in-game tactics as well. He understood the logics behind it, and he was able to be successful in both these positions. So
Yeah.
for doing that, at least I'd probably rate him 7.5 instead of a 7. Because we've given a 7 for Rudiger, who did not have that much of a game actually. Chalobah 7.5. So let's go with a 7.5 for
Yeah, I
Christensen.
think
I wouldn't really
I
say
think
Chalobah's performance was
right.
better than
Thinking
Christensen.
about it now, I think you're correct. Yeah, 7.5. He deserves it. Yeah.
Vex says agree to disagree. Probably when we have this conversation at the GNATV, we'll deep dive into it towards Kai Havertz and Hakeem Ziyech, definitely Vex. So with that, we've got this scoring stuff done for the Watford game. Of course, we've got the West Ham game that is going to be played in the weekend. I just want to touch upon the other teams as well. Liverpool getting a 4-1 victory in the Merseyside derby. Any thoughts about that, Nick?
Oh
Growing
God,
very
yeah.
confident actually.
Liverpool, they're looking invincible right now. You know, they are form. They're not going to lose games. They won't lose games. So when it's going to show, like I said before, the league title will be decided where we play Liverpool at home and we play City away. They're going to be the 6 pointers. As long as we keep winning these other teams, and we just about won last night, we have to. West Ham is a must win, otherwise it's going to be very hard. Because I can't see Liverpool or City losing to West Ham. I can't see.
Agreed. They just won. I mean, City at least just won against West Ham 2-1, I believe. So we definitely have to be in a position to pick up a win there.
Yeah, I know West Ham beat Liverpool 3-2, but the next game it won't be like that. I can't see City and Liverpool losing any games. So we have to win on Saturday, and it won't be easy. 12:30 kickoff is not a good thing.
Ideal time for any Chelsea fan, of course.
But
so it's good for Indians to watch the game because it's like 5 p.m. in the evening. So it's good for us to watch the game, but never really for Chelsea as a whole. Like 12:30 is an early kickoff.
What's 12:30 for you?
It's 5 o'clock.
Oh God! So you have to get up 5 in the morning.
Yeah, it's a 5 p.m. game. So we're 5.5 hours ahead.
Yeah. It's all right. Like I said, Liverpool City. I saw the highlights last night, and they were very good.
Yeah. And definitely, I mean, when we talk about the next game for City as well, they've got not City, I guess it's for Liverpool. They've got a game against, I'm not sure if it is Liverpool or City. I just have to check that. But they've got a game against Aston Villa. Of course, they are in a winning streak right now. A couple of games that has been victorious for Steven Gerrard, 2-0, both of them, and both against strong teams as well. So maybe
we can only hope they drop points. But as long as we keep winning, we have to keep winning. Every City and Liverpool will drop points, but it won't be too many. You know, they might, like us, if you a draw, they will drop 2 points here or there.
Yeah.
Like go through. I think it's going to go to the end. It will go to the end. Three teams in the race. Forget United. It's like these 3 teams: City, Chelsea, Liverpool, right to the end. And we see. Hopefully, it's going to be us. I said from the beginning of the season, I can't see us winning the league because we won the Champions League last year. We have to win the Premiership. It has to be.
Yeah.
I still say we're going to do it.
I completely agreed. I mean, we'll definitely take a deep, a deep dive into the upcoming fixtures tomorrow when we have, a similar sort of a stream, which will be probably most likely be a pre-match or a preview sort of a thing for all the games that is going to happen in the weekend. You've got the big match as well lined up, Manchester United versus Arsenal, that is going to be happening. I guess it's tomorrow. So we'll go live for that game as well. United versus Arsenal. It's going to be interesting. It's going to be fun. So we'll go live for that particular game, and see what they're going to be doing. This is exactly what we had on the agenda. The last point that I just wanted to cover was we already covered there, but just going to be repeating that Rudiger's contract situation right now is in a more precarious situation. Chelsea has to find a way to seal the deal here.
Yes.
Rudiger's contract is very important. The way that he's performing, he's been very consistent over the past 1.5 years.
He's been our best player this season.
Agreed.
He's been the best player. Thiago's been brilliant, but Rudiger's more or less played every single game. He's been our best.
I think he's played the most number of minutes as well in this particular team this season. So a player of that caliber definitely has to stay with the club, and it would be a bad thing from our perspective if we let go of Rudiger. Chelsea has to find a way, and we all trusted Marina and the way that she makes decisions as well, except for of course, the Kepa deal.
I always said I trust in the club. I trust Marina, Abramovich to see in the end, we can't let this player go because he's too good.
Agreed.
I'm sure
hopefully we retain both of them, Christensen and Rudiger.
Yeah, Christensen, another great player. Great. Yeah. I think they're going to both stay. I hope I'm right.
Let's see how it pans out. We were already discussing about that. Definitely, Christensen has got his dad as his agent, so probably a bit more easier option for Chelsea to convince him, because he's not going to be that pushy like an agent, professional agent, of course. But nevertheless, we still have to wait and figure out if these deals will happen or not. But we are like 1 hour and 11 minutes into the stream. We had a very successful stream. Thanks for Nick Blue to join the stream as well, Rebecca, Couch Critic, and everyone who's joined the stream. Hopefully we have a lot more streams like this. Thank you all for your support. Stay safe. Go on.
Very good. Very good to talk with you. Very good. I'm really pleased. Yeah.
Thanks, Nick. Hopefully we have a lot more conversations like this. Apart from that, I just wanted to tell you guys before we leave, stay safe. There is COVID and mucormycosis around. Let's hope we pull off a win against West Ham in the weekend.
We have to. Good win tomorrow and we're flying.
Let's move on from there. Thank you all, guys. Thanks for joining the stream. Once again, a great stream.